to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. So what I'm going to do for y'all is that I'm going to have the actual video up with the sound and everything directly on IG. And I'll have the link for that directly below in the comment section. You're free to view that if you want to. Other than that, I'm just pretty much going to tell you what specifically took place and my opinion directly on that. This is a case in point when a lot of people just simply state that a lot of us ain't going to make it. Now, I'm pretty sure some people like, well, what was all of this about? Yada, yada, yada. Well, long story short, you have two black women there, right? One woman is the cashier, the other one is the customer. The customer had about 2 to 3 shopping carts, as which somebody stated. The cashier, I guess, did not want to do her job. She had an issue with how many carts, how much stuff she had to ring up. So, in between that discrepancy, the two women started having a back and forth with insults and, probably yelling and different things of that nature, up until it led to the point of what we can clearly see directly on film, which you see the mother and her kids directly there witnessing the whole incident. I think, what was it, 2 sons and 2 girls. And one of the daughters was bagging up the groceries, and you heard the mother say, "Get my bag." Now, I just want people to understand, if you hear somebody saying, "Get my bag," that is not a time for you to stand there to try to see what is going to happen. That is time for you to basically leave whatever you got there and to get out of that situation, because you don't know what potentially is going to happen. You don't even know what specifically is even in that bag. She referred to that bag quite a few times, and she was serious. I'm looking by her stance, I'm looking by her demeanor. That woman, clear cut, had braids and she had Tim's on. She meant business. There is no other way to basically put that. You see a woman that is sitting there with Tim's on, and the out of all Tim's, she got the wheat. She got the wheat Tim's on. She means business. She is not playing no type of games. And them bad boys, to my, as I can clearly see, had no creases. She was dead serious. She was dead serious. And the other one behind the counter, who was obviously an older woman, she was like, "I don't care what you got in that bag." Like, yo, that woman, let me tell you, that woman is brave. That woman is 100% brave. But this is the main thing that I want to state to some of the women out there. Y'all got to be very careful. I give y'all, messages. I've done a multitude of videos on both platforms trying to inform y'all of a lot of the guys out here that mean y'all harm. In some of the videos that I've done before, I've tried to also warn you guys that you have a lot of women that look just like you who also mean you harm as well. Like I said, all of this was just a disagreement. All of this was just words. Nothing that involves words should get to the point where somebody's like, "Yo, get my bag." Like, you're literally stating and posturing yourself to potentially, take the life of a woman who looks just like you over some words that you had, and you're willing to do this in front of your kids. And this is like one of the main things that I try to tell a lot of women out here, like, yo, y'all gotta watch a lot of the stuff that y'all do in front of your kids. Her daughters are literally watching this take place. So because the mother is doing this in public, the kids are going to be like, "Oh, this is acceptable." So if at any moment in time that a girl or a woman that looks like me gets out of line and I don't like it, I'm going to act and do exactly like what my mama did. I'm going to perform the exact same way that she did in public, because that's acceptable. That's okay. And I keep trying to get this message through to a lot of people, and it seems like people don't understand. Go back and watch that video. All of her children were sitting up there watching the actions. They were watching the whole scene. I'm pretty sure they were embarrassed. But you notice how none of them was crying. Notice how none of them was like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, please don't, please." They weren't doing that. Why? Because they're accustomed and they're used to the attitude and the way that their mom is presenting herself for the whole world to see. And I keep telling people this: if this is the presentation that we're getting, right? We're strangers, we're not a part of the family, we're not a friends, we're not associates, co-workers, whatever it is. We don't even know who this woman is, right? If this is how she performs in public, how do you think she performs when she's at home? In the comfortability of her own home setting, when she's in her own ecosystem, when she's around family and friends. How do you think it is now? It's probably way worse. Like I said, she said, "Get my bag," as if this is like a normal type of thing. Because, and this is the main thing that I tell women as well, never at a point in time should you have a weapon on you and be in a emotional type of thing where your main go-to is like, "Oh, you want to say this, that, and that, get my bag. I'm going to show you what." Nah, that's not what that's not what that's for. That's not what it's for. And then those actions by itself, and also your kids knowing what's in that bag and them handing it to you, is also reinforcing the notion that if at any moment in time that somebody potentially says something that I don't like, or insults me in a certain type of way, or embarrasses me in public, then this is my alternative. This is automatically what I'm going to go to. I'm not going to throw insult to insult. I'm not going to try to calm down the situation. I'm not even going to try to walk away from the situation. I'm just going to try to make the situation worse than what the original person made it. Like I said before, if people can't understand by this example here of what it is that I'm talking about, then a lot of people are just a lost cause. Like I said, it is what it is, and y'all going to go out here and do whatever it is that y'all want to do. Like I said before, the all the main thing is about correction and pointing out the things that needs to get fixed. This needs to get fixed. 1,000%. This needs to get fixed. We always talk all the time about, oh, how this doesn't, how they don't respect themselves and how they don't. We always talk about that whole thing, right? And when I mean they, I'm referring to when it is that people want to specifically talk about black men, right? Which is cool, no problem, right? Fine. But the main thing that is not really talked about is stuff like this. This is not really highlighted. This is something that is a normal everyday occurrence between black women. And you'll have some people say that, "Oh, no, it's not. I don't know what women, all this other stuff." Well, look here. Let's just say that maybe you were just blessed in your life to have never, ever, 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 ever seen this. All you did was just hear about it and you just saw some stuff on the news. And maybe you saw, like, some written drama on the reality housewives. Those were the only three areas in life that you ever seen anything like this. And other than that, all the black women that all the black girls that always got along and they always loved each other, always valued each other, always support each other. That's great. Now slide yourself directly to the side because this has nothing to do with you. So mind your business. So to everybody else that has been able to witness something like this, even amongst your own family, even amongst your own friends, we know that this is something that needs to get fixed. We've easily tried to do this within our own families, and we more than likely get told to mind our business and all this other type of stuff, where sometimes, depending on the incidents, we'll get pushed out the way, or we'll be the next ones to start getting screamed at, and people want to quote unquote tell us about ourselves because we're trying to stop a situation from escalating further than what it realistically needs to escalate to. But again, this is what it looks like when you have people that are emotional and they are, in a sense, in chaos. And usually when people are emotional and in chaos and born from chaos, they seek to basically start more chaos because that is what they are comfortable in. The woman in this video is comfortable in that chaos. And by that, by proximity, her children are also comfortable in chaos as well. And like I said before, this whole situation is wrong. Those kids should not be okay with that. That should not be something that they're used to. That should not be something that anybody in the black community is used to. Like I said, this is a clear cut example of a larger problem, and this is something that needs to get fixed.